Hey, it's Azriel Lawless. Once again, you have fallen right into Hella Vella. And today we are doing another Lawless interview with Mr. Al Chaput. Say hello, Al.
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing great. So happy to have you here on the Lawless interviews reel.
Well,
So,
my pleasure, and happy new marriage to you.
thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Uh,
indeed. I'm a
Is your
newlywed.
is your smile a little bit bigger now?
Might be, might
You're a little
be. I don't
happier.
know.
Wonderful.
Came as I think a relief. We'd been engaged for 18 months and hadn't set the date or anything, and then both got super sick with COVID, and that'll galvanize you pretty quick. So we just said, let's do this thing and stop talking about it. Let's get it done.
Well,
And that's just what we did.
I'm really happy for you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But today we're here to talk about you and your role as an author out on the wonderful and exciting new platform for reading serial works, one episode at a time, and that's Kindle Vella. So tell me, when did you get the 411 on Kindle Vella and learn that it was something new that you wanted to jump into?
I have to tell you, I don't recall, excuse me, I don't recall exactly how it happened, but I published my first episode in May of 2021. So that was pretty close to the beginning. I think I'm not really sure when they actually went live on Vella. Do you remember when they went
I think it
live?
was July. From
Yeah,
doing all the
yeah.
interviews, that's what I've learned.
Yeah,
So you're
okay.
the earliest. You are the
Yeah.
earliest that I've interviewed so far with the May 2021. That is
So
awesome.
I had episodes up before it went live. And I really don't know where I heard about it, but I'm very active in the writing community. And so I'm sure something was said about it somewhere or the other. And I went and looked at it and said, this really makes a lot of sense for me.
Well, right, because you have another life or another identity, I guess, and under KU, right? Or Kindle Unlimited is what I'm talking about, but Kindle.
I published in ebooks and paperback on Amazon in a mystery series. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. And are we going to link to those works in the description of this video?
If you like, yeah, we will.
I think so. Yeah, no. This is about interviewing the authors, talking about the author's voice.
Sure.
And yes, absolutely. Somebody that wants to see your voice, we're going to put links to everything. You hear it, people? I'm going to squeeze it out of him. Anyway.
Oh, I just love you so much.
I'm ornery, I'll tell you that. Well, so you got started in May, and you got started with, now I've only seen one series by you, Al. It's called Emerald Drone.
Right.
And did you make that just for Kindle Vella, or did you take a work you already had and serialize it?
Well, that's why this discussion of what I have published on ebook and paperback is important, and that is the Emerald Drone. The protagonist in Emerald Drone is the daughter of the protagonist in my published books.
Isn't that perfect?
And I had intended to write a series of the daughter being an amateur sleuth like her mother, and had actually written a story, started a story for Wattpad, and it just didn't, I just couldn't turn it on very well. So I dropped it from there and just started writing it as a story, and ended up with what I consider to be a very interesting mystery called Emerald Drone. And I just sat it on the shelf because I'm not going to publish a series unless I have 3 books done. So when I heard about Vella, and the story is about a freshman in college, and I heard Vella was sort of aimed at a younger audience, I thought, oh my gosh, I think this is going to be the market for Emerald Drone. So I went ahead and divided it up into small pieces, which, as you know, is what we do on Vella. Nice little easy to read chunks, stuff that you can read on your break at work or something like that.
Right, exactly.
And
That's the idea.
divided it up and went ahead and put it up as a complete story. And in that regard, I'm a little different than some Vella authors. I am part of the binge generation. I admit I love Netflix versus regular television because I can watch the whole series. And
Exactly.
so my theory was there would be at least some people that would get into a story and really appreciate the fact that they could read it from beginning to end. So I went ahead and put the entire story up on Vella before Vella went live.
Wow. I wonder, because no one can tell you for sure, but I wonder if that affected your read bonuses. I don't know.
Well, I do very well on my read bonuses.
Well, I'm glad. We all are doing way better than we thought. And it's so funny because most of the folks I talk to, we think of ourselves as we're not materialistic a-holes, okay? We're not. But, if you did grow up in this country, I'm sorry. You're sort of a capitalist by just the residue of capitalism coming at you daily. Yeah. And when you start seeing a carrot of money in front of you, oh man, you trot.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I like the validation that those
Yes.
bonuses give me. They're large enough that if I equate them to book sales, that it would be hundreds and hundreds of books being sold each month. And as an indie author, I don't sell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books each month. So I'm actually doing better on Vella than I'm doing on Amazon regular.
Well, I'm happy to hear that actually, because Vella is my only platform at this time until one of my series gets ripened to enough maturity to take to a book, which I think is just the most wonderful thing that Amazon is allowing us to do. I think it's just beautiful because you can actually like hit two demographics that way.
Yeah.
You can write your book and get the validation and money of sticking it up on Vella. And if you write it with it being in mind at all times that you're taking it to a book, it becomes a lot easier to then write it to take to a book. So I'm just tickled with the whole platform. And now I want to talk to you especially about your marketing techniques, Al. And I have to tell you, I'm disappointed that you don't have googly eyes on or some whacked out hat. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, your background's playing hell with that.
do you recognize this hat?
I don't.
It's called my chicken hat.
Nice.
And this is the hat that I was wearing on TikTok. I'll take the hat off now. This was the hat that I was wearing on TikTok in the TikTok video that got 50,000 views.
Oh my God.
Now, I don't know if that qualifies as viral, but that's a hell of a lot more views than I get normally.
That's an awful lot, Al.
So
I can't claim to anything even remotely close to that. I guess I'm going to get a chicken hat.
Yeah.
But I'm asking in earnest for our viewers, because I know everybody really wants to know. Did that reel that got you 50,000 looky-loos, did it do you some good? Did it translate to clicks?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A number of things happened. I could see increase in sales. And what I'm promoting on TikTok is my print and ebook on Amazon. I could see increased sales. I also doubled the number of followers that I had on TikTok, and so it did what it was supposed to. Now, I don't have any other videos that have done that well. Don't let me mislead you. And I only have 4,000 followers right now. So I'm not a big deal on TikTok, but
4,000 followers is a lot for an author, Al.
I understand that, but they're, it's not a big deal on TikTok. But let me tell you, I have clear evidence that I sell books every time I do a page flip. Do you know what a page flip is?
I think I'm learning what a page flip is. Is that when, just tell me.
Well, a page flip is very, very popular on TikTok, because what you do is you just fan pages in front of the camera. So it's just sort of like page after page after page after page is just flipping across the camera. You'll see examples of that on my TikTok and profile, and a lot of other people's. And then what you do is you overlay the page flip with text, and you use the text to sell the book. And then you finish the page flip with a call to action, like in the case that I do, I'm selling Savannah Sleuth. Savannah Sleuth is available everywhere you buy books. I see sales every time I do that. Every time I do that. So, and I've heard from many other people who are doing page flips that the page flips are their most successful TikTok videos. So to any authors out there, if you're on TikTok, try page flips. I mean, they really, really work.
Everybody listen.
Pardon?
I was telling everybody listen. Everybody listen. Page flips. That's where we're going.
Yeah,
exactly. Learn to do that.
Exactly. And there are some authors who only do page flips because they're so successful. The other thing that I find very successful on TikTok is a character story. Again, I go on and my book that I'm promoting on TikTok has a female protagonist. I cannot go on as a female. I'm not going to dress in drag or anything like that. But she has a husband.
Wow. Why not?
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But she has a husband. So I go on as her husband. And nice. I talk about my wife, Patricia. And again, these are just little short videos, less than 10 seconds long. But I say something about what Patricia's doing, usually about the story, always about the story. And again, I finish up the video by saying you can find out more about this in Savannah Sleuth, available everywhere you buy books. Again, I see immediate sales from those kind of videos. So the page flips and the character story videos, I see absolute, just no question. And I'm told by others that the character stories also produce sales. So it works. It works. It works.
You guys, this is gold coming out of the leprechaun's mouth here. I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. No joke, Al. You're very effective. You're very effective. Well, anytime in this big, broad world that we have, and in the land of social media, anytime that you can become recognizable by name and face, you've achieved something. No, it's not even funny. In the Vella community, everyone knows who you are, and you've got one Vella. Yeah. We've got people out here. I've interviewed writers that are running 8 of them at a time. I wouldn't know them from my neighbor's house cat. I wouldn't know their face. I wouldn't know their name, none of it. But you have just like stuck yourself out there. You're Al Chaput. We all know who you are. You write the Emerald Drone series. We all know this, and you're a figure now. You're in our heads, and you did it.
You're very kind. You're very kind. Thank you.
No, this is very true. I'm not pumping sunshine here, brother.
Oh, bless you.
I am from the South originally, you know.
I guess you do master the language well.
I can go there. I can go there. Hill Betty, you want Hill Betty? I can go there. Okay. But okay, so let's talk about Emerald Drone. Now, you've already said that it is, and I love this. I love this. It's so perfect. You've really taken a lot of right steps here, a lot of right steps by making her the daughter, the next generation. You know, you brought the daughter character as your main character into Vella, which is the next generation of reading platforms. I mean, I just love the symmetry of that. It's beautiful. And so tell us a little bit about your character in Emerald Drone and kind of how she does. We know she's a freshman in college, but so what happens? Is there a murder on campus or something like that she needs to solve?
Well, thank you for asking. The first chapter of the book, or the first episode of the book, sorry, opens with a explosion in her dorm. She's only a few weeks into her freshman year, and the explosion is on her floor, and she is evacuated along with everybody else in the dorm. And it turns out there was not only an explosion in a dorm room, but a person dies. That's the beginning of the story.
And she is going
The
to be out to
campus-
solve it, like her mother.
Well, the campus and the police chalk it off to an accident. She's not buying it. She's got sleuthing in her blood. She's helped her mother on some cases previously. And so she starts to look into it. And as she looks into it, she comes very rapidly to realize that all is not right in the college environment.
Very cool, very cool. And I know that you've been really successful. I was looking at your episodes. You've got 243 thumbs up on episode 1.
Yep.
I think, and it's that is a really big number for Vella, because as all the Vella authors know, you get 243 to read 1, you can probably get 243 to read 2.
Well, and my read through to into the paid episodes is very good. So
Oh, I'm so
happy.
happy. That's
You know,
wonderful.
So that obviously what they're reading in the first 3 episodes is enough to get them pretty well hooked into the story. If you happen to like that kind of a story. The other thing about my writing in both my ebook and paperbacks and in my Vella is I write clean.
I know that. I know
So
that.
you would call my Vella a cozy mystery. No swearing, no sex, and no graphic horror. And I think there are people who gravitate to that kind of reading. I find that I can write compelling stories, obviously, that without resorting to some of the other things that some people do. So it's a clean approach to a very interesting mystery.
There's a whole subset of writers and readers that are looking for that kind of thing.
Yeah, clean Vella.
You should start a group, Al.
I think there is one. I think there is one.
I didn't know that there was a clean Vella one. I know there's one that's, well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So I always ask this question. This question always puts everybody on the spot. But since I know that you've had great success in Vella, I know that I can look at your thumbs and tell that. And you're pleased with it, how it's worked out for you. Now, if you were the keeper of the keys to Vella and could change anything you wanted about the platform, what would it be, if anything?
I would like to have a separate app for Vella. It's no problem for me to go to Kindle and go to the Vella subset and, you know, put my books up and check my numbers and make my changes and add stories and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of reading, to have to go through a number of clicks to get to a chapter of someone else's story, it's really sort of a pain versus, you know, it's an app designed for my phone, even though you can use it on tablets and laptops. It's really designed for my phone. I just as soon have a separate app for it, so I can just open an app and go and read your, the next episodes of your story that I'm reading right now. I started reading one of them actually yesterday that I hadn't read. It's a story about some gamers on Minecraft, and it's absolutely a tantalizing story. What was the name of that again?
It's I don't usually talk about my stuff, but I will. Heaven is high pixel, hell is lag.
Yeah, and it's a delightful story. Well, I would just as soon be able to pick up my phone if I'm in a doctor's appointment or something like that waiting, and open up the app and go to that story and read 5 or 6 more episodes. I would love to do that. I can't do that right now. I have to go through several Amazon steps to do that. Right. That's the main thing that I would like, to tell you the truth.
I would like that too. And just to have the option, even if they kept the readership available, which I think they should on all other apps and all other phones, I think they should dignify Vella with its very own dedicated app that is optimized for using Vella, optimized in all ways. One of the ways, one of the biggest ones I want to see is a button that you can push and an AI voice will read to you, an AI voice of your choice, like with an accent, just like Siri. The AI voices are getting so sophisticated now that even having one read to you is possible, incredible, and desirable, actually.
There's no reason there's no reason for someone who is out taking a walk or being on a run to have to buy an audiobook that doesn't exist on Vella when you have AI readers available. And that would, again, greatly increase the number of people reading Vella, or when you're driving down the highway. And
exactly.
You want to catch up and you want to read a few episodes of Vella. And I think that'd be a marvelous addition as well.
Right. And that, I would assume, would come with an app, because they have them that are out there that have those in the app. Yeah. So I'm with you. Dedicated app. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the link to Emerald Drone in the video description here, and I'm going to put the link to any and all of your books that you'll send me, and of course any of your Linktree pages or your social media pages. We'll link up to those as well in the description, because I want everybody here that's listening to this to have an opportunity to hear your voice, see your voice, and read some of your wonderful cozy mysteries. So we'll do that. But is there anything that you would like to say to folks watching this video or reading your books in closing?
Well, in closing, I would like to thank you for doing this particular interview. But to the people that are watching this interview, I'd like to point out that you have a whole series of these videos with Vella authors. How many do you have so far?
20 something, maybe. I don't know. I haven't kept count.
20, at least 20 Vella authors have been interviewed. And if you go to YouTube, I think you can find them. And they're high quality interviews. And if you're a reader and you're interested in knowing more about authors, please go check them out. I've watched many of them. You're an in-depth interviewer. You seem to pull all sorts of neat tidbits out of people. And I think if you're an author, you ought to take a look at these also, because you ask questions of authors that can give other authors some insight into how to do different things. For example, when you asked me about my marketing on TikTok, there's a little tidbit in there that somebody would get. So by all means, check out your videos. They really are meaningful.
Well, I agree. There's been some wonderful authors, and Vella has caused so many new voices to percolate up to the top where we can hear them now. It's phenomenal. It really gives me the goosebumps to think about how many intelligent, wonderful people out there are now putting their stories on Kindle Vella that really, they didn't have anything before.
Right.
So it's very exciting to hear all these authors. But
Right.
this has been Mr. Al Chaput. Everybody, this is the guy, the hat guy, the crazy guy, the guy that we all know his name. And I hope you've enjoyed talking with us here today or listening to us here today. He's doing parade wave for us. That's pretty neat. You look like one of those good luck cats. All righty then. Well, bye from, I think it's South Carolina.
It is.
It's South Carolina and Washington up here near Seattle. Talk at you later. Come subscribe, like, comment. Do it. Do it.